This just came out. WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks.
He loves WikiLeaks. He talked about him nonstop. His son communicated with him. Michael Cohen testified. He was in the office when Donald Trump got a call from Roger Stone and said WikiLeaks is about to dump stuff in July. And then what does Donald Trump say yesterday, despite all of this? Clip number 5, please. Clip 5.
Do you still love WikiLeaks?
I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing. And I know there is something having to do with Julian Assange. I've been seeing what's happened with Assange, and that will be a determination, I would imagine, mostly by the Attorney General, who's doing an excellent job.
All right, so now Donald Trump doesn't know WikiLeaks. Maureen, help me make sense. Why would Donald Trump love WikiLeaks, cite them literally over 130 times in the closing weeks of the campaign, tout them, say great things about them, and now ghost them?
I have to tell you, well, it's shocking that he would do that. But when he said Assange, if you heard the reply, he goes, I know nothing about Solange. I thought he was talking about Beyonce's sister.
Oh,
maybe that's the confusion. Just a little bit. Come on, this is what he does. You know, he gets on board.
But why do you think? No, he's a liar. I know, but why do you think the lying is here? Like, he's a liar. We know that. There's no disputing it.
Can't be born a cat, die a dog.
Can't what?
You can't be born a cat, die a dog. Like a zebra doesn't change its stripes.
Not yet. Science is getting there.
Well, I've been spending a lot of time in San Francisco, so it can happen there.
Transpecies?
Well, you know what it is? I mean, this is his mind. I don't know anything. You know this. This is what he does. Why does he do it? I have no idea. He's unhinged.
All right, let me ask. Let's go to the Republican over here. You're of the same cloth as Donald Trump. I'm kidding. You're not.
No.
But
No, I dress much better.
Well, you do.
And my suits fit better, and my ties are at the right length.
But you're not wearing a tie or jacket. Usually you dress a little better. What is this kind of casual, Evan?
It's for you.
That's not for me. I like this suit and tie. From now on, Evan, tuxedo. Evan, it makes sense. If you're a political consultant, is it simply trying to distance himself from WikiLeaks now, after all the things, now that Assange is under arrest?
As my political consultant hat, purely this, because I think it's stupid and he is absolutely lying. And, you know, every day ends in why he lies. Any president or politician in that scenario, they want to distance themselves as much as possible. What would happen if he said, oh, yeah, I know about WikiLeaks? Then it's more stories about it, more and more and more.
Well, usually, though, truth be told, he would say, I know more than anybody about WikiLeaks. I know the most about WikiLeaks. I am an expert in WikiLeaks. He did not do this. This is a scam. This is the Democrats trying to create a problem for WikiLeaks. Sometimes he does that. Sometimes he double, triple downs on something.
But he chose
absurd.
this one not to do that.
Because he wants to keep us. We don't know.
But also, you have to look at the situation he was in. He was sitting next to the South Korean president, and they were talking about North Korea. And while the president doesn't follow the example of other presidents and control the conversation and try and keep things as tight and controlled as others, it was important for him to be sending signals to North Korea and allies and people who were watching and try and keep things on there. Because the North Koreans were watching, you don't want to talk about things that the North Koreans could then use against you as well. So that was a very quick way of shutting it down and moving to the next topic.
He did it to save us from North Korea?
Who knows?
Is that what you just said?
No, I'm just saying that's one possible. I'm saying that's just one possible
could
thing. If I were advising a president in that situation, be they Trump, Obama, or Dean Obeidallah, I would be saying the same thing. You know,
I go to
Dean,
Edmund for advice
because
all the
you've been
time.
talking about WikiLeaks. You know, maybe you shouldn't talk about them this time.
So
you would only do 139. You're not that gluttonous.
What I found interesting is Pamela Anderson defended Julian Assange.
Killed me.
And
hysterical.
I've got to play Jimmy Kimmel. We pick it up. He's literally reading Pamela Anderson's tweet defending Julian Assange when this clip starts up, and then he has some funny jokes on the other side. So let's hear clip number 6, please.
You need a diversion from your idiotic Brexit BS. Signed, Pamela Anderson. The Tool Time girl. I love this. I love this. It seems there's some kind of secret organization that assigns a C-list celebrity to every cause. Pamela Anderson, you get WikiLeaks. Dennis Rodman, you're on North Korea. Steven Seagal, you take Russia. Chuck Norris, guns. Jenny McCarthy, vaccines. Tom Arnold, P-tape is yours. Meatloaf, GMOs. Gary Busey, you could have everything else. But I guess if we have a choice, we go with Pamela Anderson.
Pamela Anderson defending Julian Assange.
She's dating him. You don't know that?
Is this true?
Yeah.
She likes
They've
the
been
guy with the
dating for a
beard
while.
in the Ecuadorian.
He read it in WikiLeaks.
No, it's been out there for about
Are
a
you
year or
sure?
two. I'm 100% sure.
They're
There's
really
a thing
dating?
called Google. You can see it.
Well, that would
It's
be the only way I could date him if I couldn't have any physical contact. Because
Well,
he
did
was
you
holed up
hear
in an
what
embassy.
the Ecuadorians are saying he did?
Yeah, do tell.
He
Go ahead.
smeared feces all over the wall. Feces leaks or wiki streaks, however you want to call it. Maybe
like
Julian
it.
Assange is Picasso. I don't know.
I like
Nice.
it. I like it. He
but
thought about
here's
this.
the
I
thing:
like it.
Julian Assange. It's been interesting to watch conservatives flip on Julian Assange and say, "Hey, he's a hero. You know, he exposed Hillary, etc." And it's also been interesting to watch liberals flip on him as well, who said it was great that he was revealing all the stuff going on in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then when he went after Hillary, then it was up. Only a few people have been consistent on it, and I've been one of those people who said,
And you and
if
Pam
he
Anderson.
I wanna hear
well,
what
Pam
you-
And
Anderson.
one of you is dating Julian Assange, and one of you is in
Pam Anderson,
Where
she
do you
has a
come down
terrible
on that,
track
though?
record. Whomever she dates trashes whatever room they're staying in the hotel. Tommy
great.
Lee, and now it's just
But
Julian
I want to know
Assange.
where you stand on the whole WikiLeaks things, because I just became your best friend. In the
Well,
last
I
3
think that
minutes.
Julian Assange should never see the light of day again.
Really?
He put people in danger, and I don't buy the argument that he is putting, or that the indictment was a way against journalists. It's one thing for a journalist to get some sort of handoff saying, hey, this is some sensitive material, i.e. the Pentagon Papers. But it's another thing when you actively go out and try and help them hack the actual data.
Good
And
distinction.
Julian Assange,
Good distinction, my
and
friend.
also, if we were to say, Assange is claiming he's a publisher. So if I'm a spy and I steal a whole bunch of government secrets and put it out there, I could just say I'm a publisher and therefore I'm protected by the First Amendment? No. A member of the press can be anybody who has a blog, absolutely, but they still should follow journalistic ethics. And they shouldn't engage in some sort of crime.
we don't have journalistic ethics.
We do
anymore.
here. We do at Sirius XM.
I was a
Maureen. How
journalist
dare
for
you.
many years, and I'm like blown away
I'm
by
sorry.
what's passing.
No, if
I
somebody-
was during a time when it actually wasn't opinion journalism, which is an oxymoron.
Well, that's what I do. I do opinion journalism. Don't ruin what I do. Here's the thing.
Have a Tupperware
The truth
party.
is, right, if someone had gotten confidential information, classified information, they got it on their own and said, hey, Dean, would you write this up for the Daily Beast? That's one thing. But if I go, I'm going to help you hack into the Department of Defense computers, that's a whole different thing. And that's what was going on. At least the
criminal.
allegation against him in the indictment is that
That's
he
the
was
distinction.
trying. And that's a difference. That's a very fair distinction from a legal point of view. And I think from a moral and our big picture point of view, it's an actual distinction.
And I don't think that, and that's just one charge. I think there are more charges coming.
What do you think?
Well, let's have Kim Kardashian. She'll lead this case now that she's going to be a lawyer. Did you read it?
Yeah, and you know what? Good for her.
Yeah. She's
I
stopping
mock
in
the
Oz.
Kardashians. Heck, it's why I support. They're the reason I support ethnic cleansing. But
I'm hoping she'll stop at Oz to get a brain, and maybe her next book will have words in it. We can only hope.
I will say this about Kim Kardashian: what she's done in bringing Donald Trump to the table on criminal justice reform and helping with pardons and commutations, we should applaud it. Period.
I agree, but we were not mocking for that. By the way, if you had to have a C-list celebrity assigned to defend you, who would you want? Is there one out there? Probably not a Kardashian. I'm getting that.
A C-list celebrity. Somebody could just...
Who's good? Who'd be effective? Like I would want Kathy Griffin. I think Kathy Griffin is effective. She's funny and snarky, and she pisses
She'd
off
come
her
in with
right.
your head on a plate.
Perhaps she would. No, I think with my enemies' heads on the plate.
Yes,
but
that's-
she also gets under the skin of people on the right. So I like that a lot. So I would pick as my C-list celebrity guardian angel, Kathy Griffin. Do you guys who would
do you
you?
got?
It could be even a C-list politician. Who would you want? They can't be A-lister. You can't pick like the guy who plays
what if-
Jon Snow on Game of Thrones, whatever his real name is, Kit Kettergen, whatever his name is. You can't pick someone like
Kit
that. It's gotta-
Harington, you mean?
Whatever, that's him. You got to be C-list. Who would you be? C-list.
C-list.
It could be B-list, but it can't be A. You can't say George Clooney. That's ridiculous.
You can't
He's
say
a
Tom
B-lister.
Selleck.
He's not. He's
He's not
no,
a
you can't.
B-lister.
Tom Selleck, you could. He's sort of, but nothing. Come on, give me anyone.
Maybe Pam Anderson. She would divert
Julian
with the
Assange
boobs.
already has it.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to
Oh,
be
she is
someone unclaimed.
Pam Anderson would be better if you're going down in a shipwreck because
You
then
were
you could
going down.
flotation.
I can give you a few C-list celebrities to give you
Go ahead,
choices
let's get
from.
us going.
There's
Let's get
Carrot Top is one. He's a C-list comedian.
You could just put props
We
on
said
the
there are
table.
props to try to help
I
you out
interviewed
there.
him. He was a riot.
There's entire cast of shows like from 1990s or 2000s.
Maybe Therese Giudice from The Housewives of New Jersey, because she's already been in court.
if I could get
She
one
might
of
have learned something.
that's a good point.
Do you know she grew up in the next town from me, and she didn't finish. I don't know if she finished high school, and I go to college, and she has the book and TV deals.
Well,
I'm just saying.
some of the Jersey Shore people, some of them might be good for defenders for me. I would think I would like some of them.
Snooki.
Not Snooki. I'm thinking more like JWoww. I think JWoww would be better
JWoww.
for me. What about Mike,
Well,
the
I was
situation-
going to say Lori Loughlin because she's having so much courtroom experience,
Yeah, she-
and she goes above and beyond for those she cares about.
And she
I
signed-
like it.
And she signs autographs today going into court. They had her on video actually signing autographs. as she's
Her
going to
lawyer
court.
must be freaking
It's
out.
a horrible video.
I
Oh my
honestly
God.
thought it was stock video. I thought it was
No,
they were
right,
stock.
it was
I did. I
not.
posted it on Facebook and I go, "Oh my God, this is not stock visuals. She's doing autographs."
Yep.
I
And
mean,
I think she was trying to be nice because the other way, look how how do you win in that situation? You walk in, if you don't sign them, everyone goes, look how snooty Lori Loughlin is.
She was
So,
not.
it's
She
a
was
hard-
handing out her signature on anything she could sign. But the second the prosecutors came to her and said, "Here, sign this. It's a plea deal," she said, "Oh, that's the one time she becomes a celebrity."
what do you
and
think's
was
going to
doing
happen to her?
Prison.
Do you think?
Oh yeah,
For
she's
sure?
in a lot
You
of
think
trouble.
so?
If you read,
She has no priors.
Well, no, they hit her
Let's
with
see.
a superseding indictment, 16 counts, and it was she was offered a plea deal, which Felicity Huffman was smart enough to take.
Right.
And she thought she could get away with no jail time. And Felicity Huffman's probably going to do a couple of months.
I don't think she will. I think she'll get a probation, but her amount of money was like 15,000 or 150.
Felicity-
Lori Loughlin's was a $500,000.
I've worked in the federal criminal justice system. She's not getting probation.
No, but I'm
for this.
asking what I'm bringing to the
Please bring something
here
to the table,
is
Maureen.
the differential in the amount paid. Does that make a difference in terms of
It can
the
in
charges?
terms of it does. It depends upon the exact charge itself, but under federal sentencing guidelines and the way the feds have actually gone after everyone in this, people are going to jail. This isn't probation slap on the wrist. She's likely going to get a couple of months plus a year of supervised release, a massive fine, and a $100
Will they
special
suspend
assessment.
do you think they'll suspend her sentence?
With Judge Siegfried now.
No, they can't. The federal sentencing guidelines are much
federal.
harder.
Do you
to
think
move.
that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rappers, sometimes they get more street cred, they go to jail? Does it help Felicity Huffman?
Totally.
Gives
Look
her
how
some street- Lori
Martha
Loughlin gives her
Stewart
street
cleaned
cred.
up her jail, and also she showed people how to make a very nice homemade organic
Shiv?
shank.
Exactly.
And here's the other thing with Martha, and I have this. I talk about this in my act. She comes out of jail. She gets more street cred. She gets coupled up with the weed smoker Snoop Dogg. They now have a cooking show.
You're
He
right,
brings
so-
the pot. She brings the pans, and it's a big
So
success.
what C-level celebrity is Felicity Huffman going to be? Going to do some like buddy cop type
I
of thing?
thought that William
Her-
H. Macy was the shameless one.
I know, and it's funny. Like he's the one who seems above board, and he's on Shameless. Maybe she buddies up with like Eddie Murphy in a 48 Hours 3 type of thing. But this time Eddie Murphy's the cop. He goes in and springs Felicity Huffman. Did you guys see 48 Hours? Great movie. Yeah, it's all
long time ago. I don't know
All right,
what's
well, I'm sorry. I
happening.
just dated myself there. All right.
Bring it up to
Awkward.
date.
All right, so we've got that. All right, let's take a break. I want to come back and figure out who was the big winner in the Mueller report from what we've seen of the Mueller report, because someone has a very strong opinion about he won already, and we haven't even seen the Mueller report, and he might be right, actually. Let's take a break. Come right back with more of the Dino Bidala Show right after this. At this point, the question is not who connected to Donald Trump as a criminal. The question is anyone connected to Donald Trump who's not a criminal?
The Dean Obidala Show. SiriusXM Progress.
You're listening to What Just Happened with everyone's favorite host, Dean Obeidallah.
And welcome back to the Dean Obeidallah Show. We're live Friday, April 12th. And in studio, two people, returning champions, I like to call them. Yes. Maureen Langan, comedian. Yes. Evan Siegfried, not a comedian. GOP strategist. Still funny in his own way.
Good lines, good lines.
So let's find out who's the big winner of the Mueller report. Here is Colbert with a real clip of someone declaring himself the winner. We'll talk about it on the other side. Here's clip number 7, please.
He also lashed out at the Mueller report.
I have not seen the Mueller report. I have not read the Mueller report. I won. No collusion, no obstruction. I won. Everybody knows I won.
You don't win a report. Why is everything about winning with this guy? I woke up, I won breakfast. Then I destroyed the bathroom. Pure victory getting dressed. First, it was neck and neck between me and the pants because I put the pants around my neck. But then I remembered, no, legs. Then I won. Slacks, you're a loser.
So Donald Trump believes he's the big winner of the Mueller report. Evan, has he won the Mueller report already, even though we haven't seen it, but we saw the Bill Barr version?
This is all a PR campaign. Each side is staking out their territory. Nobody's seen the Mueller report other than Mueller and his team, Bill Barr, Rod Rosenstein, and maybe a few other people at the Justice Department. When we see the Mueller report with whatever redactions that there will be, and I think there should be some, especially when it comes to the grand jury testimony, because I don't believe it's a good thing to be putting that out there in any situation, then the public can make up their mind, but they actually have to read it. The president will never read it.
Because he doesn't read.
I mean,
that's not true.
The Mueller report was not put in a coloring book form, so that's that.
He does like the classics. He loves Lord of the Lies, Nasty Little Women, and Catcher in the Pussy. Those are his favorite classics.
He likes Forbes magazine, though.
Oh,
to be spanked with it, but
that's right. That's what Stormy didn't. Stormy.
Yeah.
So Maureen, do you think Trump? Obviously, it's all PR. He declared himself exonerated, even though the actual line in the report, of one of the few lines we got from the Mueller report, courtesy of Bill Barr, was, "You're not exonerated," but he's a victory lap.
He's won a PR campaign. Right now, he's winning a PR campaign because of the way things are right now.
But is he winning?
Right now, he is.
You think so?
Yeah, of course he is, because we don't know anything. And as long as we don't know anything, and Barr comes out and says what he said, I want to know what's in there. I think Congress has every right to know what's in there with the proper redactions. I want to know what's in there. I want us. No, well, there should be
not
some.
for Congress.
It depends. For Congress.
For grand jury testimony, absolutely.
Not for Intel. I don't think House or Senate Intel committee should be able to see. I think they should see everything without redactions. If it was grand jury testimony, maybe they can highlight that. But I want them then to be able to tell us if Bill Barr's redactions were too much about politics and not about grand jury.
But don't you want to know why he wasn't fully exonerated? I want to know why
it's going to be ugly.
What that is.
It's not good.
And we paid for it, and we have every right to know what's in there. We are not a secret society, and I want to know what the hell's in there. Thank you, Maureen. I will hack that computer with Julian Assange.
So, do you think someone...
The dirty wizard?
So creepy!
He looked like Gandalf.
He looked like he had to go and knock on everybody's door and say, hello, I'm a registered sex offender. Which he might actually have to end up doing.
I'm a feces chucker.
So when the report comes out, say it comes out, as Maureen was saying, the idea it's not going to exonerate Trump. It's going to say negative things about Trump. Trump now has been touting the report. What's going to happen? He'll just instantly switch and go, it's all lies. I told you they were liars.
No,
he will.
No.
All right, it's on now. Bring it. Let's go.
I was exonerated. He'll stick to the script. And what he's going to say is, because it's at the end of the day, it's going to be a Rorschach test for everybody. You're going to read something out of there, Dean, and that I might not agree with your conclusion based upon that. Because the report is going to talk, hopefully in detail, about what happened in the 2016 election. Because Mueller was hired not to go and investigate Donald Trump, but to investigate what happened in the 2016 presidential election.
Including the peeing?
But the peeing wasn't in 2016. Come on.
You're right. My timeline was all wrong. Sorry. I made a big mistake.
But also, you're going to have the president continue to say, look, I was exonerated. Because why would he change his tune? Because the entire time since day one, since we saw the letter from Barr, It's been about getting the base there. And look at what the base of the Republican Party has done. They have gone, and they're going on the offensive now. And Democrats have been knocked back on their heels. Adam Schiff, every Republican member of the House Intelligence Committee said they don't have faith in them. But there were two names. I know that you would have the knee-jerk reaction of saying, hey, yeah, that's just Republicans. But there were two names who have been unafraid of standing up to the president and saying he's wrong or has overstepped his bounds. Two names two members, Republican members of the House Intelligence Committee, signed that letter saying they have no faith in Adam Schiff. And that's Will Hurd, a former CIA officer, no wallflower, and he's no shrinking violet when it comes to Trump. And he ran against Trump in 2018 and was narrowly reelected. And he's against the border wall, by the way, as well as Elise Stefanik. Both of them said Adam Schiff has lost their confidence. Well, and that's a pretty major thing.
Interestingly, the Democrats, when I spoke to Andre Carson, who's a member of the House Intel Committee, when Devin Nunes was there, said that Devin Nunes had turned what was a great committee into a partisan just joke.
Yeah, but that's a whataboutism, Dean.
No, but I think it's payback for that because they were saying Devin Nunes had destroyed the credibility of this committee, and I think the Republicans are just paying him back because we don't know what's in the report.
Will Hurd would not engage.
Here's the point. I want to know what's in that report before.
Right.
And
So
it
we don't
could
know.
be, it could be what you say, Evan, that people see it through their own eyes. But I want to see what definitively is in there. And here's the deal: when Mueller was first heading this up, everybody's like, he is a man of integrity. He's the finest man that ever walked the earth. We all agree. Everybody. I will go along with what those findings are because I do think he's a man of integrity. And believe me, I wish they were hauling him out in an orange suit right now, Trump. Believe me, I do. However, I will align myself with the integrity of Mueller. But if there's stuff in there, we're going to find out from Trump, Mueller's a little unbalanced. I mean, the results were great, but that stuff with him, he was crazy that day. You know that's what he's going to do. They all turned on him. Everybody on Fox News, this Mueller is a nut job.
Newt Gingrich started out loving him, and then a few months later when Donald Trump said, this is what you have to do because Donald Trump is their false god. Do you think that Bill Barr has told Donald Trump what's in the report beyond that letter? Because he would not, during his testimony, I'll play a clip. Here is from Seth Meyers' show, and it's a clip of Barr. They said we get our news. But in the comedy is an actual clip where Barr refused to say that he had not spoken to the White House. So I think that's very clear. He had spoken to the White House already and told them what's in the report. Here's clip number 2.
This is why it's crucial that decisions involving the Mueller report remain independent of Trump. And yet yesterday, when his Attorney General William Barr was asked if he briefed the White House on the Mueller report, Barr's answer was very evasive.
Has anyone in the White House seen any of the report? I'm not gonna, as I say, I'm landing the plane right now, and I've been willing to discuss my letters and the process going forward, but the report's going to be out next week, and I'm just not going to get into the details of the process until the plane's on the ground.
The plane has been on the ground. Mueller landed the plane. You're the crew guy refusing to drive the little gate thingy up to the door so we can get off the plane. This is why.
Yesterday was National Pet Day, and Trump's favorite pet is clearly Bill Barr. He'll do everything. He sits up, he rolls over. On. Oh, no, now it's Bill Barr. Chris Christie in the past. So what does it matter to you if Barr told the White House already what's in this report before telling the rest of us? Does it matter in any way?
No.
Doesn't trouble you? Because obviously Barr did not want to tell us the truth about it. So
no, but
that's the weird thing. Like, why didn't he just say?
I think you're.
Why didn't he just say I didn't tell anyone, or I told him?
One, he's a lawyer. Have you ever gotten a lawyer to answer a straight question?
Yes, I'm a lawyer too, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, you give answers because you don't want the truth out there.
Here's the thing. Also, you're forgetting the audience that Barr, or the separate audience that Barr is playing to. The president does not like it when his cabinet secretaries cooperate with Congress. So he said a whole bunch of nothing, saying he didn't answer yes and he didn't answer no. And he said something that obviously has you fired up, but at the same time it pleases Trump, and he could have not shared a damn thing.
And that's what is such bullshit. That is what is so damn wrong, is that he has these clowns in place who are answering to him. He works for us.
Bill Barr is an exceptionally talented lawyer.
I'm good, but what is the BS? Who is he beholden to?
It's the American. the cover-up general. He's the cover-up attorney general. William Salfire called him that when he was protecting Ronald Reagan and George Herbert Walker Bush during Iran-Contra and was involved with 6 pardons. And Lawrence Walsh actually said, I would have done more of investigation and potentially indicted more people, but those pardons prevented me. So Bill Barr is someone who's obstructed justice, but not criminally. He's doing it again right in front of us. That's why he was hired. The establishment GOP goes, Trump, this is your guy. He will protect you. He protected Ronald Reagan and George Herbert Walker Bush. And Trump goes, okay, let's talk about golf. That's it. I'm not going to play the clip where he's talking about golf. This makes me so
angry because we have a right to know what's in there. Congress has a right to know what's in there. I do believe that will be revealed. I do think the Democrats should give him a little breathing room to bring it forth and then react if it isn't in line with what
they should go to court, though, if it's full of redactions.
But let's see what it is. I do think they're being a bit overzealous with.
I can't believe no one's Do you think someone ultimately will leak this, though, the minute it gets out a little beyond this redaction period?
If it's not proper, yes, it will. It'll get out.
You say no.
Oh, it will.
Why do you say no, Evan?
I don't think anybody would risk the prison time to go to leak the unredacted copy. Also, I think if any unredacted copy is actually given to Congress, what they'll end up having to do is it'll be like the Khashoggi report, where the members had to surrender everything. They had to go into the SCIF, and no staffers were allowed, and they were only allowed to read it for certain periods of time. Why? Because if they actually give an unredacted copy to members of Congress, somebody in Congress will leak it themselves.
Right.
Well, I believe that.
And that's criminal.
A redacted copy, but how much is redacted, and if so much is that seems disproportionate, and the Mueller team knows, I think it's going to leak.
I think people need to calm down for right now because I think people are working themselves up into a lather. Let's read it and see what it is first before having anything out there.
But if it's disproportionate redactions, I think
it's like telling a pregnant woman your son's going to grow up to be a doctor.
Let me finish my thought.
Please.
I think if that's the case, that those on the Mueller team, they will speak up.
I hope so. That's the hope. The whole thing. And they had the SNL cold open where Alec Baldwin played Trump, and he showed the paper, and it just had the word "no" and collusion as the only words unredacted. And while that was an extreme example, I've got a feeling because the 4 categories that Bill Barr said he was going to redact, 3 of the 4 are fine. The 4th one is I'm going to protect political people. But we'll see. I am shocked for the better. I hope it's really good. So let's take a break. Come back. We'll play our favorite game within the game. When we come back, I'll play Guess Who Said It right after this.
The Dean Obeidallah Show.
My slogan for Trump in 2020, Trump for prison 2020.
Sirius XM Progress. listening to What Just Happened with everyone's favorite host, Dean Obeidallah.
And welcome back, Dean Obeidallah Show. We're live right here, Friday, April 12th. In studio still, remarkably, Maureen Langan and Evan Siegfried. They were both stayed. I couldn't believe it. So you're both definitely champions. Now it's time for the game within a game. Hit it!
Now, it's time for America's newest game show sensation.
Guess who's done it?
All right, so here's the game where I read you a quote and I give you 4 options and you guess them, and I think you're going to get them right because you guys are pretty smart. But in any event, this is just here's a quote. This is just pure racist act by many of those hateful acts. Wait. This is just pure racist act by many of those. Oh, hateful acts by those because she does speak truth. She talks about different issues they disagree with. I'm outraged, and I'm really outraged because as a person that has gotten direct threats myself, I know that her life is put more in danger. Was that Rashida Tlaib, Nancy Pelosi, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or Ayanna Pressley?
Cortez. AOC.
That was ridiculously easy. All right, you guys are good. This is
I don't know.
we have to go to level number 2 now. All right, Gerald Nadler is lashing out personally because on a national TV, it was easy to expose his bias. Jerry's diarrhea of the mouth produced a year of statements showing prejudgment. Was it Lindsey Graham, Rudy Giuliani, Don Jr., or D. Sean Hannity? Jerry Nadler is lashing out personally because on national TV it was easy to expose his bias. Jerry's diarrhea of the mouth produced a year of statements showing prejudgment. Lindsey Graham, Rudy Giuliani, Don Jr., Sean Hannity.
I think it might be Graham.
I'm going to say my former boss, Rudy Giuliani.
I could hear it. I remember
What did
seeing
you do
him
with Giuliani? What did you do for him?
I was on his presidential campaign.
Oh, not when he was mayor. Nothing here?
Nope.
I could see him on television last week and talking about it, but all I can picture is the Nadler.
All right, here comes another one. Ready?
Yeah.
I think in our country, we need to understand you shouldn't be attacked for what your religious beliefs are. And I think kids need to learn at a young age that this is okay no matter what faith we have. We don't attack them for their faith. A, Mike Pence. B, Melania Trump. C, Eric Trump. D, Karen Pence.
Oh. Wow.
I think our country, we need to understand you shouldn't be attacked for what your religious beliefs are. And I think kids need to learn at a young age that it's okay no matter what faith people have. We don't attack them for their faith. Mike Pence, Melania Trump, Eric Trump.
Karen Pence.
Is it? I was going to go with one of the Pences, so go ahead.
It was Karen Pence. All right, here we go. We got 2 more here for the big prizes. You guys are really the champs. You got everyone right. This is ridiculous.
I've never gotten one wrong with you. I'm 20 in a row right now.
We have to just make up fake
But he's
quotes.
humble.
I know, he doesn't. All right. This family separation policy was implemented by Secretary Nielsen, putting families and children into cages. That's under her watch, too. So thankfully, she finally got some, how shall I say, some sense of appropriateness. A, Joe Biden. B, Ilhan Omar. C, Senator Mazie Hirono. D, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence.
All of America.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
But that's including the actual person who said it, but you have to be more specific. Who would slam? Look
so many people said stuff like that.
He might actually get one wrong. This could be a big day for us here.
So much
Who
of
was
that
the
was
second
being
option?
said.
Ilhan Omar, Joe Biden, Mazie Hirono, Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence. His family separation policy was implemented by Secretary Nielsen.
Oh, no.
Can't show you the number.
Going with Hirono.
Hirono.
They both got it. Man, you shouldn't. I think we were going to get him. Last one.
No, he was going to get it.
You're going to get this one. This is too easy. I didn't intend to question whether Representative Omar is an American. I'm questioning how many American, alone. All right, you all know it's Brian Kilmeade.
Yeah.
That was the jackass. He's such a douchebag, isn't he? I mean,
just so stupid.
The thing is about Brian, I've talked to Brian a few times. I've been on his radio show. He's actually a nice guy. He should be doing sports. I mean, that's the reality. He's like a frat guy. He shouldn't be doing politics.
Well, politics is a blood sport, so he's doing something.
He actually, I think if he did something that was not politics, he'd be much better because he's an affable, nice enough guy, to be honest. I don't know if you dealt with him or not.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Right, I'm saying, like, I think in politics, he makes statements and then he actually goes back and one of the few Republicans actually go like, I made a mistake or something, because he actually is a nice guy. And that's what's remarkable. So, all right,
well, when you swim in the mud, what are you going to do?
You get dirty like a
what
pig. All right, so let me ask you this, and both of you, the Republican point of view and the right point of view.
Independent.
No,
yeah,
independent.
The correct one. Yeah.
No. Democrats right now, 2020, they are very, very focused on policy initiatives mostly. They're not talking about Trump much. I was at the National Action Conference last week and I watched almost everyone speak, and very rarely did Trump come up. Do you think Democrats, if that's the right approach, talking about health care and all that, or should they also couple it with a message calling out Donald Trump's bigotry, racism, and sexism? Maureen, what do you think?
Stay on the issues. It's really important. Healthcare, the economy, stay really, really focused. Healthcare is so important right now, and what's going on so many levels. That to me is number one. Stay focused on that. Everybody knows what a circus clown he is. The more you bring him into it, the more you create another reality show. Focus.
Interesting. And as a Republican, what do you think Democratic candidates should do to be effective?
Well, here's the thing. They're talking about the issues left and right, and they do that at all the conferences, and they were doing that or Republicans were doing that as well at all of the gatherings, et cetera. It's in their media interviews and the stuff that gets played on air that's more Trump-focused and more sensational. They need to be sticking to giving sound bites that are good, that are out there for the mass. Also, while they are fighting one another, the polls are showing that Democrats have gotten smarter in that they are not snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, or at least so far, in that 2/3 of Democrats roughly want to nominate someone who can beat Trump, as opposed to they ideologically sync up with. And that's why Joe Biden is the smartest one. And here's why Biden is the smartest candidate.
Here we go.
Biden is think of it this way. Every candidate who's tried to go after Donald Trump, be they Republican in the Republican debates, they've fallen flat on their ass. Joe Biden could pull off something that no other candidate has ever done and do it earnestly. He does that sort of Reagan 1984, aw shucks, there you go again, where it's just this disarming charm belittlement, which would enrage Trump.
Charming
and
belittlement
make him,
is a good way of putting it.
I think that Joe Biden would just turn around and say, see, folks, we just had 4 years of this. Do you really want 4 more of this? This isn't appropriate. And if he says that in a debate against Trump, that would be devastating.
And it's perfect. It would be perfect. And I agree with him on that. The other thing, too, there's another point here, too. You look at the cabinet right now. Everybody's white, 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 white. I like white men. I have 3 brothers. You know, I have a boyfriend. I have a father. The thing is, I think it's going to take a white man to beat Trump, because all those guys who voted for him and his base are afraid of the diversity. They're afraid of it. And I think a moderate Democrat instead of somebody more progressive is the way to get people on board.
I can understand you saying that. To me, though, I think where the passion lies is the person who should be the nominee more than anything else.
Hell yeah, I agree.
And I don't think, and I think that it's going to be up to Biden to show that he can get the base going. Other than the idea of, yes, polling shows Democrats want someone who can beat Trump. And to me, though, the person who can beat Trump is not the person leading in the polls in April, a year and a half from the election. It's going to be after the first few debates, who really gets the crowds going? Who gets people that they want to knock on doors, make phone calls, give money, go to rallies?
Let me ask you this. The passion clearly in 2018 was more with the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the Ilhan Omar, the Rashida Tlaibs. And they were pretty far on the left. We'd all agree on that.
Sure.
But Max Rose and, Jason Crow in Colorado, those are the candidates who won the swing races.
Right. No,
not
Mikey
one
Sherrill
progressive
in
was
Jersey,
able to pick
Tom
off a swing race in any swing district in 2018. So that shows you where the electorate is. The Democratic voters, as long as you don't fracture like you did in 2016 with some sort of nasty divorce, they will be there. You don't want the passion. You want to pick up who can get the people who are in the votes. Because if you get someone if you say, we want to do passion, that gets to that purity test. And you know what? You might not have swing voters go out and vote for Trump or your guy. They'll stay home. And if they stay home, Donald Trump wins. So you want to shoot yourself in the foot? Take the passion approach.
I agree.
You want to win? You go out and you pick somebody who actually appeals to swing voters.
You're looking at them
because the passion right now in the left
you get your passion
is stuff
as your
that
VP.
pisses off and pushes away people who are swing voters in this country.
Unfortunate. He's right.
Look, there's
unfortunate.
There's a lot of passion for various candidates. There's a lot of passion for Bernie Sanders.
There's a lot of passion for licorice, but it's still awful.
Right. There's a lot of passion
the red
for
is
Kamala
right.
Harris.
No, licorice is the devil.
There's passion for people who could be
this is something between
viable national candidates. And you've got, I think Kamala Harris could be very formidable. I think Liz Warren, yes, she's very progressive, potentially
like her.
Could be. I mean, it's going to be, we're too early in this. I was at this National Action Conference Network, and I interviewed so many people after they watched like 12 candidates. Everyone's like, I'm waiting and seeing. They're going to wait and see, and that was a true vibe.
But are they going to
really
vote for? Are they going to vote for the person they love the most, or are they going to vote for the person who they believe can beat Trump? Those are two different things that could potentially be the same person, but more likely than not, it's
I think they want to beat Trump. They want someone that they believe can beat Donald Trump.
That's right.
But at the same time, everyone I've spoken to, and I know we're early and we're not heated right now, is whoever vote blue no matter who. And so whoever gets the nomination, we are going to support. And
that's right.
As I said, the Kenda's...
Yeah, but the question is, can you get the swing voters with whomever you nominate?
And that's a very important point.
If they are too far to the left or too extreme and outside
What do you
the
think
mainstream.
about Bernie? He's going to be too progressive for the swings.
Bernie Sanders, first of all, isn't a Democrat, and I don't know why Democrats aren't going up in arms, because remember he had to sign the pledge that he would become a Democrat to run in 2016, and then he'd have to run for re-election as a Democrat in the future. What did he run as in the
Senate
for
for
2018?
yes.
He ran as an independent.
Let me ask
he
you
broke his promise.
That's a
Bernie
good
Sanders
point.
also, I don't think, here's my thing with
Who
progressives.
can get the sweat? We got Biden.
Who are the candidates? I think Biden is the best position. Probably after that, Amy Klobuchar. Kamala Harris can't, because she's much more tainted than people realize, and I'm going to be very careful on this.
Okay.
But there's a lot of opposition research that is yet to come out. But when she was prosecutor, she did a lot of pay-to-play with donors, is the big word out there. That there were selective prosecutions against rivals of donors, or she dropped prosecutions against big donors. We're talking civil-based when she was California State Attorney General. Maybe this never comes out, but that's been the word on the street for a while.
Well, look, if there's evidence of that and they come forward with that, that'll be a real issue. And I think I think fellow Democrats will bring up. That's why we have a primary.
What about this Buttigieg?
Pete Buttigieg?
I can't say his last name.
First of all, Pete Buttigieg, I don't agree with him whatsoever on policy, but I think he's authentic. I think he's putting out a real message. He's the first and only millennial out there in any presidential race. And he's got Liz Smith in his corner, who is probably one of the shrewdest Democratic operatives in the country, who will end up being White House press secretary one day. But he's running for vice president. That's not what he's doing.
Whatever happens with him, what I do like about him, and I'll tell you right now, I'm so tired of the right being the party of religion. Now, I don't want religion in my politics at all. But you know what? I'm so tired of people not realizing there can be liberal, evolved, progressive people who actually have a spirituality and a God. It doesn't just belong to you nut jobs who want to get in my birth control.
Let's play. He's
the way a Christian should be.
Let's play Pete Buttigieg from Sunday at the Victory Fund event when he talked about his faith. Clip number 8.
People talk about things like marriage equality as a moral issue. And it is certainly a moral issue as far as I'm concerned. It's a moral issue because being married to Chasten has made me a better human being. Because it has made me more compassionate, more understanding, more self-aware, and more decent. My marriage to Chasten has made me a better man. And yes, Mr. Vice President, it has moved me closer to God. You may be religious and you may not. But if you are, and you are also queer, and you have come through the other side of a period of wishing that you weren't, then you know that that message, that this idea that there is something wrong with you, is a message that puts you at war not only with yourself, but with your Maker. And speaking only for myself, I can tell you that if me being gay was a choice, it was a choice that was made far, far above my pay grade. And that's the thing I wish the Mike Pences of the world would understand. That if you got a problem with who I am, your problem is not with me. Your quarrel, sir, is with my Creator.
So Maureen liked that very much.
Yeah, it's
I think it's
powerful.
effective. Mike Pence pushed back. Let's hear, this is a 15-second clip of Mike Pence pushing back. Here's clip number 9.
Well, look, I worked very closely with Mayor Pete when I was governor of the state of Indiana. We had a great working relationship. And he said some things that are critical of my Christian faith and about me personally, and he knows better.
And I think Pence cannot be in the same room alone with Mayor Pete for his own reasons.
Well,
there.
pushback. You said
pushback.
pushback.
You know why Pete Buttigieg is doing this? It's a brilliant political move.
It is very great. Pick an enemy.
He's auditioning for vice president. And remember what a flop Tim Kaine was in that vice presidential debate? Mike Pence cleaned his clock. That's sort of like saying you lost to an inanimate object.
It is.
So when you hear Pete Buttigieg do that, and he's going on Pence's turf, because Pence has always been about religion and politics.
Sure.
And you could hear in that clip how uncomfortable Pence was. And in other interviews when Pence has talked about it, he's knocked back on his heels. Pete Buttigieg is going out there and auditioning to be the chief attack dog, because especially if you have Biden needs to be Mr. Sunshine. Everything in the world is great. Remember how you felt when Obama was president and you weren't upset and there wasn't drama. You still need somebody who can deliver a punch as your VP.
Can you see that, Dean? Can you see him being
Perhaps.
VP?
I think I'm really thinking it would be a woman as his VP, to be honest. And that maybe a woman of color or a woman. But keep in mind, the Democratic Party has not nominated a white man as president since 2004. That's a long time ago. And I'm not sure if we're going to nominate a white guy. I'm not saying I'm not against a white male at all. Just saying I don't know if our party's evolved to the point. But it could. I mean, and if Biden gets a nomination, I think he's got to run. It could be with Buttigieg. It could be with a woman as VP. It could be Klobuchar. It could be Liz Warren. It could be Kamala Harris. We'll see how things work out.
What level of progress? I don't think it has to be a woman. It's a great level of progress to have a gay millennial on the ticket. And I would say the same thing if it were if Pete Buttigieg were a Republican. I personally, I'm a millennial Republican.
Well,
I could care less if somebody's gay or straight.
Debates. We're going to take a break. I'm waiting for the debates. The first ones are late June. We have 12 debates. I want to see them on the stage together with debates. I think it's going to make things more clear for a lot of people. Let's take a break and come right back.
Dean Obadala Show on Sirius XM Progress 127.
Your entire week's exhausting news broken down in one hilarious hour. What Just Happened is now live with Dean Obadala.
And welcome back, Dean Obadala Show. We're live. So we got about a minute here. We all love dogs. We established that in the commercial
Me too.
break. Maureen, where's your one-person show going to be, and where can people follow you on Twitter?
Empire Stage in Fort Lauderdale, May 9th through the 12th, and I'm performing all over the country. You can go to Maureen Langan, Langan, and
one-person show got great reviews. Daughter of a Garbage Man.
Yes.
Check it out. She's hilarious. I've known Maureen for many years. And my friend Evan, where can people follow you? And what's
You can
going
follow me on Twitter at Evan Siegfried and on Instagram at Evan Siegfried. And on Monday, my dog, Rowdy, who's primarily on my Instagram, he turns 5.
Happy birthday.
And it's the Boston Marathon, so I'd like to wish luck to all of the dashing whippets, as well as my good friend Gregory Pezzolano, who are running the race and looking to break anywhere from 2:40 to 4 hours.
Wow.
And that's good, I assume? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's pretty
that's
good.
really good.
I can't watch more
under
than a half
4,
hour for the
Under
marathon,
4 at Boston, anything would be great.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you very much. Thanks, Lauren and Matt. We're going to
Thank
New
you,
Hampshire.
Gene.
So if you're in New Hampshire Tuesday, come 2
You're
p.m.
running for president?
In Nashua. Be there moderating a town hall with John Delaney at the Flight Center. It's free. You can check it out on Facebook.com/Dean of Radio or drop me an email, dean@deanofradio.com. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Talk to you Monday.